Hello. Today I want to show you how we're gonna plot error bars. So let's look at my screen and share it here. The goal is to plot something like this: XY plot, where you have the experimental data and you have the error bars on them. So how we can do this? So what do we start with? We start with here's our X values. For example, frequency of the motor of the wind tunnel. We did it at 10 hertz, 20 hertz, 30 hertz, 40 hertz. And let's assume those are Y value. For every X value, we measure it 4 times. So we have 4 data points for each X, right? So the first step is to calculate the average of those 4 Y. So you'd say average, and you tell him, give me the average of those 4 values, right? This is the average. And then the standard deviation of those data points. And there is 2 standard deviation in Excel. One is for the sample and one for the whole population. So since this is a sample, we will get the standard deviation S. And then the C, this is the T distribution, came from this table, remember? And we said that we want to do it within 95% confidence level. So that means we are on this line. And this is the number of data points minus 1. So here we have 4 data points. And so that make n minus 1 equal 3. So the number that I'm going to pick is this, 3.18. That's the D distribution, 3.18, right? And that is the case for all of them because we only did 4 data points for each one of them. Then the formula for the uncertainty, what is it? It's the C multiplied by the S, standard deviation, divided by the square root of number of data points, which is 4. So it's the standard deviation divided by square root of 4. This is our uncertainty, right? And if I am interested not just in the uncertainty as a value, this uncertainty is basically saying that the average here, when X was 1, the average was 2.25 plus or minus 0.475. But what is this percentage-wise? Is it 10% of this value or 5%? So we'll just divide this over the average and we multiply by 100. And so the uncertainty is 21%. And then we will just copy this. Ouch. And we will copy this. Right? And now we are ready to plot. So I'm going to pick my X and Y. I'm going to plot the average. Those data points are the average. And I'm going to say insert. And I'm going to pick XY graph. This is a graph. I'm going to delete this chart thingy. Okay, and now I want to put the linear fit. And I would like to put the error bar. So the linear fit, right click and add trend line. And I'm gonna pick linear, but I'm not, and we can see the equation here, right? It's too small. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. And also, I would like to change the intercept, because this is minus 0.1. This basically, when X is 0, it will say that the value, the Y value, is going to be negative. And we know that the trend that we want should really go with, go to the 0 and 0. So I'm going to say set intercept, and it's going to be 0. So that will force this equation to go to 0. And this is the correlation coefficient. And if you want to see how far it will go, you can forecast or basically extend this line, and you can extend it to 1. So it will go all the way over here, and you'll be able to see that. How does it look like? So now the error bar, how we can put the error bar. So I am here on the, I'm choosing the graph, so chart design. And so you would come to add error bar, right? And so you have none, that's where we are right now. Standard error percentage, standard deviation, more error option. We'll pick this one. And we want the y-axis, vertical error bar. right? But the value is not fixed value. You just don't want him to have plus or minus 1. We want the value that we just calculate over here. So I'm going to say custom, specify value, and he give you an option to specify either the positive alone and negative alone or both of them, right? And so I'm selecting this and I'm going to tell him it's this guy, right? And for the negative value, it's the same thing. We say plus or minus that number. Okay, so we are done. So he did the error bar for us, and we don't want the horizontal error ones, right? We didn't calculate that, and so that's it. This is our graph with error bars on it, right? And whenever you wanna put an equation like a box like this, you wanna make sure that it is solid line, and you wanna make sure that it's filled. Look nicer this way, yeah. What's missing here, of course, is the titles that you guys can do later on. All right, thank you so much.